Hi everyone, your Auntie Lexi here. I've compiled a list of all of the noteworthy JRPGs and games in its periphery that came out in 2025. I'm always surprised how many incredible games have come out in this genre, and 2025 proved to be yet another fantastic year in this current renaissance. I have played every single game here, so every choice has been painstakingly vetted by yours truly. If you played other games this year beyond the ones I've noted, please share them in the comments below and tell us why you recommend them. This is going to be a lengthy video, so let's begin. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is one of the year's biggest RPGs. It's a turn-based RPG set in an alternate reality Paris, where every year, people of a certain age get wiped Thanos-style. And every year, a new expedition composed of younger folk set out to defeat the Paintress, the ominous being that lies at the horizon, responsible for these deaths. Its turn-based battles rely a lot on quick-time events, and you'll be happy to know that the easier settings do make these a ton easier now. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is absolutely one of my favorite games of the year, and you'll be able to pick it up on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Ys Memoire, The Oath in Felghana, is one of the more revered games in the Ys series, and for good reason. It's the definition of a classic, featuring a much simpler story when compared to the more modern, multi-layered narratives you're used to today. Ys Memoire features lots of expanded stories when compared to its original release in 1989. It is a remake of Ys 3, with all of the modern fixings that 3D affords. Great action, fun monster encounters, and tons of exploration. Ys Memoire, The Oath in Felghana is the kind of remake that we expect these days from these types of reissues, and you'd do well to play one of the best Ys games out there. You'll be able to play Ys Memoire, The Oath in Felghana on PS4, PS5, and Switch. Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake shouldn't be played first. You should go play Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D Remake instead, and I'm quite certain that that'll be on sale for the holidays. But if you have, then you gotta complete the trilogy. In Dragon Quest 1, you only play as one character. That means you don't have to debate who's getting stat buffs or how much gold you need to grind for new gear, whereas Dragon Quest 2 is the finale that it was always meant to be. It even has a new playable character, and both games even have expanded stories that strengthen their connection in the Erdrick trilogy. Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake is available on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch 1 and 2, and PC. 100 Line Last Defense Academy is a tower defense game that's got that unique Danganronpa weirdness baked in. That's because the makers of Danganronpa worked on this game, only made apparent thanks to the way its characters look. You and your fellow students are tasked with defending civilization against a threat that could annihilate the world in 100 days. But what makes this game even weirder is how it changes after your first playthrough. In fact, there are 100 endings to be found here, which play off the same routes you played before. And what's more is that they bend and twist genres you haven't encountered in your first playthrough, and somehow makes them work, even clumsily at times. The sheer scope and ambition of this game is to be commended, and if having that Danganronpa vibe, mixed in with some fun tower defense, sounds like a good time for you right now, know that it's available on Switch and PC. Lunar Remastered Collection is a collection of 2 amazing Game Arts games that they've never managed to top. Sorry, Grandia. Both games are connected chronologically, so I highly recommend playing Lunar Silver Star Story first. But no matter which game you play, you'll feel like you're being transported to an older time, when Saturday morning cartoons delivered some exquisite hand-drawn animation with just a little hint of CG that brought out the humanity in each of its characters. The localization is based off of the Working Designs versions, which has managed to age fairly well despite some of its more dated jokes. But ultimately, these turn-based RPGs are some of the greatest of all time, and you'd do well to pick this one up. Lunar Remastered Collection is available on PS4, Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, and PC. The Edge of Allegoria is a game that I talked about in Playwatch Vibe. Go subscribe to that channel, and it's Conker's Bad Fur Day meets Final Fantasy Legend. You play the role of this guy who is sick of his fishless pond and goes on a journey to see what the world has to offer. You'll encounter an emasculated husband, a succubi for a wife, and other weirdly titillating characters, until you wind up becoming a pawn in a battle between gods. The whole game is a throwback to those good old Game Boy RPGs, and it's not that long either, about 20-ish hours. So if the idea of a crass and crude Game Boy RPG sounds like a great time, the Edge of Allegoria will tick all of those boxes. It's out on Switch and PC. Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time, combines the coziness of Animal Crossing with RPGs, and it works extremely well. Every single thing you do, from fishing to mining to even using swords and shields, is a kind of life you can live. And while the game does have this time-traveling element built into it, the whole thing isn't too deep. This game is perfect for players who still want to play an RPG, but without the stress, and instead just want to have a good time. The game is adorable, quirky, and funny at times, and it's definitely one of Level 5's best games. Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time, is available on PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch 1 and 2, and PC. Lost Eidolons Veil of the Witch combines tactical battles with roguelike gameplay, and it works extremely well. Each run starts with your characters at level 1, with all their abilities and skills reset. Each battle is then connected by path choices that could either lead to powerful boons or challenging encounters. But what makes this game great is that despite its tactical gameplay, it's still able to capture that snackable, just one more time vibe that many roguelikes have. And the permanent power-ups you can activate in between runs give you just enough push to want to play it one more time. Some players might say it's easy, but I personally enjoyed the experience despite that. And the writing and the characters are so memorable that it's hard for me not to chuckle at the thought of their shenanigans. And perhaps the best part, the battles play like a snappy Fire Emblem, allowing players beyond Nintendo platforms to experience it. What's more, it's only $25. Might even be less by the time you check it out right now. Lost Eidolons Veil of the Witch is available on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and PC. Demonschool is a tactical RPG that relies more on strategy than stats. You don't even earn experience points or level up at the end of battle. Battles are typically wave-based, requiring you to defeat a certain number of enemies, then quickly rushing to the end of the stage to finish the skirmish. There are boss battles too, but you'll be encountering the former a lot more. What I appreciate about the game is that you can spend as much time, or as little, with it as you want. It's so considerate to the player experience that while it may have a time element and social links like later Persona games, the only way to progress the day is by doing the main story. This ensures that you can fish as much as you like, hang out with friends as much as you like, all the while working towards one of Demonschool's many endings. Demonschool is available on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, and PC. Atelier Resleriana, the Red Alchemist and the White Guardian, not the mobile game, is the Infinity War of Atelier games, not only featuring new heroes, but also characters from series like Ryza, Aisha, even as far back as Manakamiya. How many of you know about that game? But this melange of characters isn't just one reason why you should play this game. The turn-based combat is inspired by the best of the series, harkening back to older Atelier games where you've got two different rows of characters back to back. The alchemy too is simple yet elegant, making you want to engage with it more. And the gathering system is just as simple as ever, allowing you to just go about what you need to do with very minimal fuss. And it might even surprise you to learn that this was co-developed by Team Ninja, the guys responsible for Neo. This is my personal favorite Atelier that came out this year, so go look for it when it drops in price. Atelier Resleriana, the Red Alchemist and the White Guardian, is available on PS5, Switch, and PC. Atelier Yumia is an expansive open-world take on the Atelier series. The big hook has to be how archaeology is a huge part of its theme. Alchemy is shunned in this world, and the one person who still practices it is tasked to help out an expedition and uncover what really happened that led to a powerful empire to fall. Is alchemy really at the center of its demise? Even though it's set in an open world, Yumia's regions are quite manageable. And the zip lines that you'll use to go from place to place is just a really fun way to get around quickly. It's also got quite an engaging story, though I'll admit that it feels a bit oppressive. But don't think it's going to be gritty all the time. It's Atelier after all. Atelier Yumia is available on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Tales of Grace's F and Tales of Xillia Remastered came out this year, and this is probably the best year when it comes to Tales of remasters yet. Tales of Grace's F actually served as the foundation for the design of Tales of Arise's combat and progression system, but that's not the only reason why you should pay attention to it. It's also one of the easiest Tales of games to get into in terms of story. Grace's F does a fantastic job of balancing the darker elements with comedy and fun banter. Xillia, on the other hand, is considered as one of the best Tales of games ever made. It features two concurrent storylines that intersect and diverge in multiple ways, as well as a combat system that blends the very best of previous games with innovative features like a link system that pairs up two characters together. Since the Tales of series is pretty much self-contained, if you're looking for two games to start with, you can do no wrong by choosing either Tales of Grace's F or Tales of Xillia. Tales of Grace's F is available on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, and PC, while Tales of Xillia is available on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and PC. I am grouping Pokemon Legends ZA and Digimon Storytime Stranger here because if you love these respective series, they're the very best of each. Pokemon Legends ZA is a real-time take on the series' traditional turn-based combat, but what it winds up being is essentially Pokemon meets Xenoblade, especially with how abilities are now mapped to certain buttons, which makes things feel more action-packed. Digimon Storytime Stranger, on the other hand, provides a compelling story, albeit one that'll really surprise you with how the tone keeps changing, but still provides the kind of experience that is more approachable and daring. And yes, I know I didn't like Time Stranger, but that doesn't mean you won't. Whether you're a Pokemon or Digimon fan, these series have you covered. Pokemon Legends ZA is available on Switch 1 and 2, and Digimon Storytime Stranger is available on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. I'm not going to spend too much time on Trails Through Daybreak 2 because A, you shouldn't be playing this as your first one, go play Daybreak 1, and B, it's the perfect game to play before Trails Beyond the Horizon comes out in January. Trails Through Daybreak 2 is a more character-focused entry, opting to delay pushing significant Calvert plot points forward, and really delving deep into the individual characters in the Daybreak series. It also reintroduces mini-games too, after its absence in the first, so it's got you fans of these distractions covered. Trails Through Daybreak 2 is available on PS4, PS5, Switch, and PC. Now, if you're a totally new Trails fan, you're in luck, because the most argued best starting point in the series just got even better. That comes in the form of Trails in the Sky First Chapter Remake. Apart from bringing the first chapter of the Sky Trilogy to full 3D and adding English voice acting, it also incorporates the Daybreak series' innovative hybrid action/turn-based combat, making it feel fresh and familiar to fans of the original. They also did a fantastic job of redoing its user interface and making once obscure connections, such as how some abilities get unlocked through its intricate orbit system, much clearer. While there are other great titles in the series you can start with, Trails in the Sky First Chapter absolutely makes a really good case to start there. And think about it, you can choose to wait for the inevitable second chapter remake to come out, if you so wish. Trails in the Sky First Chapter Remake is available on PS5, Switch 1 and 2, and PC. Fuga Melodies of Steel 3 did come out this year, and it serves as the conclusion to this gut-wrenching series. Naturally, if you haven't played the previous two, go play those. They're probably on sale right now. But in case you haven't, you play as animal children in an alternate reality World War type situation, where they pilot a tank in hopes of finding their loved ones. That's the plot of the first game. The crazy thing about this turn-based series is that you can activate powerful attacks that can decimate entire armies with a single ability, by sacrificing the children. But the cost of sacrifice can be too great, as each child has abilities that can help manage the tank. And assigning the right child to do certain things, much like creating a gear/ability build of sorts, is key to your survival. If that sounds even remotely intriguing, you'll find all 3 Fuga games on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, and PC. Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma is the best Rune Factory game for newcomers. A lot of critics claim that this is a more action-heavy take on the series, but I say that the reason why you could do such a thing is because for the first time in the series, there's finally a game that offers an unprecedented level of freedom. Gone are the mechanics that bog you down like fatigue and other cozy games. Instead, you can explore, expand, and gather things as much as you want with barely any limits. And it's also got a colorful cast of characters that you'll want to befriend, get to know, and even date. Whether you want a cozy adventure or in the mood for a slightly different take on RPGs that gives you lots of freedom to play, you're gonna have lots of it with Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma. It's out now on Switch 1 and 2, and PC. Quartet is that indie JRPG that comes once in a while that'll just absolutely blow you away. In fact, if there's one thing that I want to praise the game for, is that its storytelling is quite succinct. It doesn't suffer from meandering dialogue that many RPGs have these days. Yet, despite that, Quartet's writing is still wonderful, managing to eke out every little bit of character from every single person you meet, all while building up a remarkable story that rivals many higher budget games. And as far as its gameplay goes, it's as old school as it gets, and then some. You'll be able to recover your resources cleverly through the use of skills during combat, and every character plays differently, giving me some of the most memorable and powerful characters I played this year. It's not out yet on consoles, but it is out on PC, and as someone who's played this one on a Steam Deck, you'll definitely want to consider that once you get this game. Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles makes an already great game even better. Not only is the original game built in, but there's also an enhanced version that really ups the story presentation and makes every job viable. The voice acting really enhances the narrative to a level no one expected, and the canvas-like look that they put on the entire game tries to mimic the PS1 version's CRT look, without making it too blocky or too smooth. I know you're all sick of me saying this already, but as someone who doesn't like tactical RPGs, this game really made me a fan. And if you're the kind of person who feels the same about how long these battles tend to get, know that its new fast-forward feature is definitely a game changer. Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles is out on PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch 1 and 2, and PC. No one expected Raidou Remastered: The Mystery of the Soulless Army, but it was a really good deep cut. While it's a remaster of the first Raidou game on the PS2, much of its brand new remastered features were actually lifted from the second game, which was widely considered as the more polished of the two. But what Raidou Remastered really is, in relation to the larger Shin Megami Tensei universe, and I know that it doesn't even carry that name anymore, is an action game that incorporates the SMT series' summoning gameplay. What you have is a period piece action RPG that feels fantastical just by the very era it's set in. You'll walk through a fictional 1930s Taisho Japan, blending industrialization and a huge transition in culture, the right setting for this type of game. And before you ask, yes, it's even got Demon Fusion too. If you're clamoring for more SMT summoning goodness, but in need of a change in gameplay, the action of Raidou Remastered will easily fit the bill. You can play this on PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch 1 and 2, and PC. Octopath Traveler 0 isn't out yet, but it's coming very soon. The demo really showed what they're going for. It actually told the story better than the other two games. Instead of a game being an anthology of 8 different stories, there's one driving story which every character is invested in seeing through. Your hometown has been raised by 3 greedy and influential villains who'll stop at nothing to obtain more power. Your custom character goes on a journey to not just rebuild the town, but to also find long-lost villagers, recruit new allies, and exact revenge upon these villains. And yes, there is a town-building aspect unique to this game too. Octopath Traveler 0 will be out on December 3rd on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch 1 and 2, and PC. You've just discovered 23 games that came out, or are coming out, this year, curated especially for you. If you found this video helpful, be sure to check out all the other videos here on Backlog Battle. Thanks for watching, y'all, and I'll catch you in the next one.